Alright, bro, tell me when was the last time you sat down and did some deep work on your business or your schoolwork? You won't like what I have to say, but you know it's good for you, right? Do you know why you can't sit down and start working on a task for hours on end? Well, I break it down into two parts because no one is born not being able to focus, right? So we fucked up along the way, so we need to find and address that first. So you're probably like, oh yeah, I just eat a regular diet. I don't see what the problem is. The problem is that you've been brainwashed by society and big food corporations into thinking that you're eating just a regular American diet and like that's fine for you. That's healthy, that's balanced or whatever, right? But that's not the case. Let me start with the food pyramid, right? What a fucking scam, bro. Like they put like grains and like refined carbs at the bottom, which means that you need to have the most of that throughout the day. And you need to have a little meat and like dairy and stuff like that, which is the complete opposite. Like you need to have more of meat and more of dairy than grains and carbs. This is the reason why you're slow, bro. This is the reason why you can't focus. People think, oh, eating fat makes you fat, right? No, wrong. Eating refined carbs and sugars will make you fat, not fucking fat, right? So you need to get your education right. Like if you don't know like anything about nutrition, just search it up. Like why do people get diabetes? Why do people get cardiovascular disease? So like the main reasons behind that is that because they're eating refined carbs and sugar, right? And that shit just adds up over time. So like if you're not careful about what you eat, you're gonna end up having diabetes and like type 2 diabetes and like cardiovascular disease, hypertension and whatever, right? Anyway, we're gonna have a different video for that, but in today's video we're gonna focus. So like, yeah. But just think about it. Like once you eat like a big bowl of like pasta or like rice, you feel a little bit lethargic, right? Like, and that's no surprise. Like obviously you ate a lot of refined carbs, and that's gonna make you slow, right? That's gonna give you brain fog, and that's not gonna get you the most optimal results that you want, right? So, and that's not gonna serve you well. Like if you eat a lot of refined carbs earlier on in the day, what's a regular American breakfast, right? It's pancakes and sugar syrup. Like what the fuck, bro? That's like the worst diet for your mental health. And like, bro, that shit's gonna fuck you up early in the day, right? What you need to have is nothing at all. I recommend having like 0 calorie, uh, like coffee or whatever. Obviously, coffee is 0 calories, but when you add milk and that becomes like a little bit more. But like that milk is fine. Milk. Don't take milk as like the enemy or whatever. Milk is fine, but like just have coffee and literally nothing throughout the day until like 12 p.m. or like 1 p.m. Right? Because that's what I do, and that's what like most of these like really high level entrepreneurs do as well, right? They don't eat until like later towards the day until they get like all their big tasks done that requires more of their brain power, right? So that's what you need to understand. And they break their fast with like, well, all these like entrepreneurs, like high level entrepreneurs, break their fast with like red meat and like a couple of eggs or whatever. And it's not even that big of a meal as well. So like, and the thing is like the cool thing is that you can still focus after that meal. Like it doesn't make you full. It makes you satiated but not full, if that makes sense. So yeah, and they break their fast with that and like pretty much just have like 2 meals a day, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the day, right? And like if you want to be fit as well, like that carnivore diet works like so much better, right? So like if you go on this carnivore diet, you're gonna literally eat a lot more less calories than you ate before, right? So like yeah, it's actually cool. Like it's actually crazy how much body fat you can lose with that. And this is what I do on a daily basis as well now, and like the productivity that I can cram into one day is like crazy. Cause I wake up in the morning, I don't have to cook breakfast, I don't have to worry about any of that shit. I just make myself a coffee, and like I just sit down and do my work, just deep work until like 12 p.m., 1 p.m., and then I break my fast. Or sometimes don't even break my fast. I go to the gym, just empty stomach, and that's what works best for me. Like you need to find your sweet spot. Obviously, like if it's like 1 p.m. for you, 2 p.m. for you, um, that works best with your schedule and stuff like that. You can break your fast then, but like I don't break my fast until like probably like 3 o'clock or like 3:30. So like yeah, and that puts my focus on another level, right? And that's both in the gym and productivity as well, like just business work as well. So yeah, that's it's just amazing, right? Most people like procrastinate and like their brain just doesn't work because their brain turns into mush when they eat like all these like refined carbs and like sugars and like all this shit. Like it's just bad for you in both like mental health sense and a physical health sense. So like you just need to wake up, bro. Wake the fuck up, bro. Anyway, I recommend you get started on it tomorrow and literally like like go through it and do it for like a couple of months, bro. Like you're not gonna lose anything from doing it and everything to gain. So like why not do it? And like you're gonna change your lifestyle and you're probably gonna drop some fat as well, and you're gonna be fucking great. Like you're gonna be fucking feeling great. So okay, so like the second part to this is like the flow state. Obviously, like I didn't talk about it at the start, obviously, because the first part was like about diet, right? So like the second part is about flow state. No matter like how optimized you are, like if you're not entering the flow state when you do work, then you literally wouldn't work for that long. Like you'd probably work for like an hour, which just like shallow work anyway, and you literally wouldn't work for like longer than an hour, right? So like what you need to do is enter the flow state. And how do you enter the flow? What is the flow state to start with? It's when you become one with the task that you do, right? So like pretty much like if you have like a task that you need to get done, and you remember like okay, so you allocated some time for it, and like you felt like you breezed through it, and like you felt like time passed by and like you didn't even know about it. So like that's what you call the flow state. You enter the flow state, right? So like you don't feel the time pass by, and like you just breeze through it, because like it's the thing is like okay, so it's like you need to tick off some criteria before you enter the flow state. And here's the criteria, right? So like the criteria is that you need to find a task the task needs to be challenging enough, but not too challenging that you will give up and like move on to the next whatever task or whatever, you know. So like, but it can't be too easy either. Like you need to find that sweet spot. You need to manipulate the variables. If you're like doing business work, obviously with school work you can't do that. But with business work, you need to like literally manipulate the variables so that it just hits that sweet spot where it's like not too challenging, but it's not easy either, and it's not too hard either. So like you need to find the sweet spot and literally like lock in and like get it done, because like that's when you enter the flow state, right? So yeah, and that's what I've been doing as well. Like I've been setting the bar like a little bit lower on like business tasks, and like I've been like tweaking like the variables so that it makes it easier for me to like do it, but not too easy, so that it's actually a little bit challenging as well. So yeah, that's when you enter the flow state. And like if you're not optimized and get into the flow state, you won't be able to like focus for long. So yeah, even if you have like this carnivore diet under your belt, and I'm telling you, bro, like once you enter the flow state and once you get the carnivore diet like literally like sorted out, like you literally be unstoppable, bro. Like literally you will be unstoppable because you love what you do. And that's the key here. You need to love what you do as well. Otherwise, like you can't enter the flow state if you don't like what you do. That's why like most students in like school fail, because they don't like what they do, and like they can never enter the flow state even if they get good at it. So like they're like just forcing themselves into it. So like they can't literally focus for like longer than an hour. Most students can't focus for like longer than an hour because they just they just can't like they just don't like what they do, you know. So once you combine these two, bro, you literally be unstoppable. Like I'm in a flow state right now because like like it's challenging for me to like talk to the camera, but it's not like too challenging where like I'm giving up, but it's not too easy either. So like I'm finding the sweet spot, and I'm recording now for like 16 minutes straight. So like yeah, I mean it's great, and like I'm not full. I'm not I didn't eat like a boatload of pasta or like some refined sugars. I just had a cup of tea and and I'm working, So you need to put that into perspective and be like, yo, like maybe I can do that as well. Maybe I need to try it as well, and like get into the flow state. Fucking, just get my shit sorted because I've been wasting fucking time, you know. Like I've been just jumping from business model to business model, doing shallow work, because none of these businesses like gave me any results, right? It's because you're doing shallow work. Like every business model works, but like you need to put your like all into it. You need to fucking work hard at it. The guys that are at the top of like whatever business model you're doing is like working like several hours a day, deep work. You know, at least they're at least working like 4 to 5 hours deep work, not shallow work, right? And they're just getting shit done, right? So like that's why all you need to focus better and like just get shit done, right, at the end of the day. So enough wasting time, bro. Like I'll let you go, and yeah, stay tuned for my next upload, and I'll see you later.